treasure the legends, those who paved our way. In every single chapter, we're here to stay, breaking down plays.
Good evening and welcome to the Chasing the Highlights podcast. We're going to be talking about week number 9, but before we get to week number 9, we'll go back and talk about week number 8. I'm Lonnie Washington, and I got my co-host here, Tony Robinson, and I got a special guest tonight, Dan Briot. He's in Massachusetts, and he's happy about the New England Patriots, and we'll be talking a little bit about the New England Patriots and Drake May and their early success for the season. And so, hey, welcome to the show, guys. How you guys doing tonight?
All right.
Good. So, let's rip the Band-Aid right off the bat. Tony, of course, you're our resident Cleveland Browns fan. And of course, Dan's here as an invited guest. And I figured that we just start the show right off and start talking about the upstart, okay? The start, New England Patriots. I mean, obviously, it's been about 5 years since the Patriots have had something to talk about and be excited about something. So we don't know where this is going to go with the New England Patriots, but we're trying to really figure out, is this the real deal? So here we go here. So we'll start off here. The New England Patriots beat the Cleveland Browns 32-13. And this game here, Drake May, he was just phenomenal again, as he's been phenomenal all season. Like, it's not like, it's only 1 or 2 game sample now. I mean, they're really starting to talk about him in a conversation of being one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. And so with that being said, Tony, obviously, we go round and round with this every week, when we talk about the Cleveland Browns and, of course, Dylan Gabriel and everything like that. What do you think went wrong in this game, really, when you saw this game from the, from your perspective? What went wrong in this game for the Cleveland Browns?
Well, just like Mike Vrabel said at the post game, right? He said that pretty much the defense was, the offense was a vanilla offense. Pretty much, after a while, they can figure out any team can figure out what these guys are doing. They're just dinking and dunking and stuff like that. All they had to do was just put 8 in a box, force them to pass, because they know Dylan Gabriel can't throw past 10 yards accurately. So when you have a great defensive mind and Mike Vrabel, he's just going to sit back and just, even though they're friends, him and Coach Stefanski are friends. I mean, he pretty much, blasted them in the media and stuff like that to pretty much let them know, like, dude, you're what are you doing? Like, you can't put this offense out. You can't continue to put this offense out there because it's not working. Me as your friend is going to come out here and tell you the real stuff. Right.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you, like, just like me and you, Lonnie, you tell me stuff about me and I tell you stuff about you because we're friends, right? That's what Mike Vrabel was pretty much saying after the game, was pretty much putting him on blast, letting him know you need to switch this thing around because this it's not working. And you got Dylan Gabriel, he did some good things here and there, but it just continuously showed that he is not the quarterback that we want. And we've been talking about this for years now, how I pushed Baker away and all this stuff. And it just, but this guy right here, he's just too short. He can't see over the line in the pocket. He can't get away to like extend plays. I thought he was quicker than that, but he's not. So there's a lot going on there. The defense played good until they couldn't anymore because the offense keeps putting them back on the field. You can't.
Yeah. You got to have balance.
When you can't move the ball and stuff like that, or you throw interceptions, you put in your defense on the field a lot more. So that's what I pretty much saw. So, and you can't. Quinshon Judkins only had 9 carries for 19 yards because they took him away. Just like Bill Belichick back in the day, and Vrabel's cut from that same cloth. He's going to take something away. He took your best asset away, which is the running back, and then forced Dylan Gabriel to beat you, and he couldn't. So
it's a tough one. So Dan, obviously, you guys have been beating everybody over the head. So I mean, it was an expectation. I had the expectation that the Patriots were going to take care of business. It's just that they're business-like. They play hard every down. from your perspective, being in New England, what are you seeing that the New England Patriots are doing this year? Of course, obviously, Mike Vrabel is the common denominator there, and of course, they got Drake May. How are the fans in New England, reacting to the Patriots' 6-2 start, and also just kind of how Drake May's playing overall? And then, obviously, what did you see in this game that you thought was a big key for you?
Well, I can tell you that the fans. I speak mainly for myself, but I can tell you the general pulse is this: we're cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're looking at a team that's 6-2 right now, and you know as well as I do, any team can beat any other team on any given Sunday. We know that could happen.
Yeah.
Right now, we're looking at the Patriots. In my opinion, they're a playoff team. They're not a high-seeded playoff team at this point. They're going to lose. Looking at the rest of the schedule, I think they're going to lose to Tampa Bay. The Bills are going to come into Foxborough and beat New England.
Oh, wow.
That's good. Yeah, that's going to happen.
Man,
because you don't do that to the Bills.
The bad juju on your team, man. I don't know about that. I don't know if I would automatically look at that.
You don't go into Buffalo and beat the Bills and don't expect any repercussions. Mm-hmm. So they will be ready for New England. Now, would I like to see them beat the Bills? Absolutely. But I think it's just prediction, and I hope I'm wrong. But
I hope you're wrong too.
you're going to see the Ravens.
Everybody else hope you're wrong.
The Ravens will beat New England as well.
With Lamar Jackson back, right? With Lamar Jackson potentially back later in the season.
He's due back this week. Thursday. Without Lamar Jackson, forget it.
Yeah.
But with Lamar Jackson, they will beat the Patriots. So, I think that we're cautiously optimistic. I think we do have a good football team. There have been comparisons. Listening to the media that Drake May is the franchise guy. There's been some comparisons to Tom Brady, except the one thing that Drake May can do that Tom Brady can't is Drake May can run. Yep.
Yeah, he can run.
Yeah, that man can run. So, I think that we do have a franchise quarterback. I do think things are going in the right direction. However, there are some things that we do need to work on. We're talking about the offensive line. Will Campbell, the rookie. He's a good offensive lineman, I will say that. But when he goes up against top stars, like you saw him against Watt when they played Pittsburgh, right? Mm-hmm. He had a tough time handling him. Myles Garrett, there was no competition there at all. Myles Garrett was incredible. But, when you're a rookie, you're 8 games in, how do you learn? You're going to get beat. You're going to take your lumps. You're going to get beat up. So I think he's going to be a very good offensive lineman, maybe not specifically at the tackle position his entire career, but I think he's going to be a very good offensive lineman. He may even see an all-pro or two. So I think that's something we have going for us. We saw in the game, Travion Henderson. We saw him run for a few yards, which was nice to see. The running game needs to pick up. That's one thing that needs to happen with the Patriots. Their running game is suspect right now. We're looking, we'd love to see another running back come in here. There's been names thrown around and
another running back.
I think y'all have the running backs.
Well,
y'all got enough backs. I mean, I don't know about running backs.
Listen, since Antonio Gibson went out, since he's done for the season, they were looking at. There's been talk, in New England about possibly going out and getting another running back via trade. So
wow,
we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think they just need to give Henderson more run. I mean, because he's been like they haven't been giving him a lot of opportunities.
No, they haven't. No, you're right.
Yeah. He's a good player. I mean, you can't draft him and not run him. Yeah. He plays hard. Now, I obviously, maybe it's too early for this too, but I mean, I gotta who you got? I mean, Drake May is in this conversation, and I know everybody overreacts, man. But to see him sitting there with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Jonathan Taylor and Drake May, I mean, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And me personally, I think it's way too early to throw him into that conversation. We did have a pretty good sample size with him. But if I'm picking, I think this is the first year in a long time that I'm picking Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor mirrors what he has done, if he continues to do what he's done in the first half of the season and mirrors the second half of the season through November, in early December, I think there's no doubt in my mind that I've got to say Jonathan Taylor is my guy. And I think Barkley should have won it last year too. All right. But, Josh Allen is, it's supposed to be a quarterback award, but then you see Josh Allen there. But is it too early to start thinking about Drake May as an MVP candidate, even though his stats are kind of right up there with everybody else, Tony?
I see. I'm in the same boat with you. I have Jonathan Taylor as the MVP right now. I had Baker before, but Baker kind of took a hit because his injuries that he has. But Jonathan Taylor has been so consistent, and he's like the heartbeat of that Indy offense. And you just give him the ball, and he just produces like he did 2 years ago before his injury and stuff like that. And they say it takes like a year for you to recover from your injury, and now he's back to where he used to be during those times and stuff like that. I feel like he's the best player right now in the NFL right now. So
in the NFL, yeah.
But it's a quarterback award, like you said. So they usually get the favor. So
Yep. What do you think, Dan? Is it too early to think about Drake May? I mean, is it just too early right now, and we got to see a little bit more sample size?
I think it is. I really do. And being a diehard New England fan, I am going to come out and say that Drake May does have all the tools. I mean, he can definitely get there. But this is his first full year where he's actually gone ahead and played a full entire season. Mm-hmm. So we need to take a look at that. We need to see how he's going to react after he's going to have a loss. We did see some of that, but some of the throws he's had have been unbelievable. He elevates everybody around him. He does make everybody better. What I will say is this: as far as the conversation goes, I think Josh Allen is a great quarterback. I think he's going to have his ups and downs. One person you're going to want to watch out for, you had in that slide, was Patrick Mahomes, because the Chiefs are going to come on. You can't count the Chiefs out as long as he's around, and his offense is healthy. So look out, here they come.
Yeah,
that's a good pick too.
Yeah, that's a good take. Thanks. So now we're on the topic of Drake May. All right, I got a question for you guys. Okay, so all right, so are you taking Drake May over Jaden Daniels if the draft was today? And so that's a that's kind of a question. I'll go last on this. We'll start out with you, Dan. What do you think? I don't know. Dan's a little bit frozen there. Okay, Dan, I'm going to put you on hold. You're a little frozen on the screen. But okay, so Tony, are you taking Drake May over Jaden Daniels? We'll be back to you, Dan, in a minute. Are you taking Drake May over Jaden Daniels if the draft was today?
If the draft was today, I would take Drake May, only because currently, Jaden Daniels is dealing with an injury. So sometimes going into the draft, you're dealing with injuries, and you're looking at all this stuff. But depending on what the injury is,
knowing what we know now, all right. Knowing what we know now, are we redrafting Drake May right now, or are we drafting Jaden Daniels? We had a peek into the future already with both of these guys, but as of today, knowing their body of work, right, and we're drafting again, okay. Are we doing that today with Drake May, or are we going with Jaden Daniels?
I'll take Jaden Daniels because of the body of work that he's put in last year, what he did, just all the stuff that he's done up until now. He's the better player right now, but Drake May is coming along he's catching up with Jaden Daniels. I mean, I don't know if it's because of the injuries to his team or Jaden Daniels' team, but Drake May is getting way better now. Just like he's they said the Brady comparison, but I was thinking because he has that coach there that's making that coach Brady.
Yeah.
So he's probably picking his brain, like, what did Brady do? What, in this situation, what did Brady do? So he has greatness coaching him right now. So I feel like Drake May is coming up.
Yeah, Dan, you froze for a second there. Now you're back. I'm going to pose the question again to you. Are you taking Drake May over Jaden Daniels? Now, Drake May's your guy, but looking at the body of work now and seeing where they are in their careers, are you redoing the draft again? Are you taking Drake May again?
I'm going to. Just like I said previously, he makes everybody better. He does. And I've watched his games. I haven't missed a game this season. And I will tell you the progression from the beginning of the year through now, the pinpoint accuracy with his passes. I mean, the 2 touchdown passes to Kayshon Boutte, you can't throw a better ball. You cannot. I mean, it is right there at his fingertips. And I'll tell you this, last year, Kayshon Boutte would not have caught that. Not at all. So big difference. I also think Drake May is developing that leadership style. I also think that, Drake May just has the perfect amount of, he's not over the top like a Joe Burrow kind of guy, with showing up at Fashion Week and all this crazy stuff. And he's not.
It's coming. It's coming. It's probably coming. Just not yet. You got to do a little. You got to do a little. You got to do something first before you can do all that pizzazz stuff. And he's still a young guy too, right? Like he's still a young guy. So
I think he is. But I think Drake May's a little more humble. I like Drake May as a person. I think I definitely would. Not saying James Daniels is a terrible person. Not saying that at all. I mean, I have a lot of respect for that man. He's a tremendous athlete.
But your guy is your guy. He's on your team, so you got him. So he's your guy. I expect it. But you know what? I'm gonna say this. Let me look in the camera and let everybody know what I'm about to say. All right. I'm about to say that there is no way, if I'm redoing this draft based off of what I know today about what they are, that I'm taking Drake May. I'm taking my guy Jaden Daniels. And one thing about it is that Drake May is the younger guy. He's probably about 2 years or 3, almost 2 or 3 years younger than Jaden Daniels. But Jaden Daniels played a lot of football when he was in college. He played at ASU. He went to LSU. He's the Heisman Trophy guy. I mean, I would have took Jaden Daniels even over Caleb Williams. I mean, knowing what I know now. The biggest thing is that when Jaden Daniels came onto the scene last year, he had everything. He had a leadership role. He took a team that was mediocre roster, and we actually stayed healthy most of the season. He took a mediocre team to the NFC Championship game. He beat the Eagles, scored, touchdown after touchdown against the Eagles in November of last year, right? And so he had the Eagles on the ropes. And, he lost in the NFC Championship game, but guess who he beat? He went on the road and he beat who? Baker Mayfield, right? And that tough, Tampa defense, right? He beat them. Nobody gave him a chance at all in Detroit last year. What did we do? We went into Detroit and smoked Detroit. We smoked them. Detroit was 14-2. I must remind people that, right? We were the underdogs. And we ran into our old rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, but the Philadelphia Eagles smoked everybody, right? Yeah. You saw, I don't feel bad. I mean, we got beat, right? But we were in that game, in that NFC Championship game early until everybody else started turning the ball over. It wasn't Jaden Daniels who lost us the game. He played spectacular. Now, this year, you talk about a sophomore slump. He's been injured. So he got injured, hurt his knee. He's trying to work his way back from an injury. But when he's playing, I never feel like he's out of a game. So, we can go back and rehash everything like that. I'm still picking my guy. But I understand why you're picking Drake May. I understand everybody's fascination about Drake May. But Drake May is playing like Jaden Daniels played last season. He's elevating everybody like Jaden Daniels did last year. So he's basically copycatting what Jaden Daniels did. I will caution you, get down and slide, right? Because your best ability is availability. And we're seeing that this year with Jaden Daniels too. So we got to move on. We'll move on from that. But while we're still talking about this, Tony, I hate to do this to you again, man, but you gotta tell me really, are the Cleveland Browns going to play Shedeur Sanders this season? I think this is always a hot topic. You spoke about Dylan Gabriel not being a NFL type of quarterback. Everybody is talking about, why is he even playing? There's a whole lot going on with this this topic, and so I'm tired of hearing about it. I mean, they had this guy, on the bench. He had a back injury, a mysterious back injury all of a sudden. And then they Bailey Zappi, somebody used to be familiar with Dan, the ex-New England Patriots, came off the practice squad, jumped over Shedeur Sanders as the backup to Dylan Gabriel. It was totally outrageous, right? So, Tony, are the Cleveland Browns going to play Shedeur Sanders this season?
So, Tony Rizzo from ESPN Cleveland, like I said before on previous podcasts, he said that they are guaranteeing him the last 4 games of the season. But the way Kevin Stefanski has been moving and like talking in post game media and stuff like that, I feel like he just doesn't want to play him. But we'll see after the bye week. They have a bye week this week. I'm hoping that they can get him going like during the bye week and then get him fully ready for the New York Jets, because we play New York Jets coming out of the bye week. So that would be a good test for a new quarterback to come in, because we saw what Dylan Gabriel can do against good teams, and we saw what he can do against bad teams. So for me, I feel like what you see is what you get with Dylan Gabriel. Yeah. I feel like you can't keep beating a dead horse, because he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. We beat a Miami team. We blew a Miami team out, but he had nothing to do with it. It was all Quinshon Judkins, and the defense is what won us that game. But when he plays against good teams, he doesn't do anything. Like, he does the same thing he does against the sorry teams. So for me, I want to see Shedeur. We got to see what we have in him, because if they're going to be looking to draft somebody, like, if you want to build around a quarterback, this is the time you need to figure it out, or you need to go get a quarterback in the draft. But I don't want to get a quarterback in the draft, because I feel like Shedeur is the guy. But we can, knowing that, we can see what we have for the rest of the season, and then we can go draft pieces in the draft for like receivers, offensive line, whatever we need. But don't wait until the next year to see. Don't stop kicking this can down the road with Dylan Gabriel. Just get rid of, take the Band-Aid off, just sit him down, have him, because they said he's saying Shedeur is not ready. Kevin Stefanski keeps saying Shedeur is not ready, but it doesn't even like Dylan Gabriel's ready. So what is but Dylan, you say Shedeur is not ready, but you can't tell me Shedeur is not ready. What are you doing to get him ready? Your job as the coach, Kevin Stefanski, is to make sure he's ready. Like, no other quarterback that I've seen in history had the situation, because like with the Redskins back in the day, you had Kirk Cousins and RG3. I'm sure Kirk Cousins was getting some first team reps just in case RG3 went down.
Nah, they don't really get a lot of first team reps if they're not starters, but they do get some practice team reps. So,
I don't know. I just feel like there should be something, like, because Dylan Gabriel is not doing anything. So for me, I know you usually have quarterback contests in the beginning of the season, but right now we need to see what Shedeur can do with the first team. We haven't seen anything with the first team yet. So with that being said, it's like what's going on here, Kevin Stefanski? This is for you. Kevin Stefanski.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's just outrageous. I think they're 2-6. I'm tired of really talking about it. But I think they're really screwing over Shedeur Sanders in this situation, and they definitely need to put him on the field, especially if they're not winning, right? And Dylan Gabriel, he's not lighting the fire. He's not doing much at all, if anything. And so I think either trade him. I mean, I would love to see the deadline next week that he's traded to another team that will value him and give him a potential opportunity. Even if he doesn't play this year, a different team than the Cleveland Browns. I mean, the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Browns, we have the worst history with quarterbacks. That's proven, right? It's taken us 25, 30 years to finally find a quarterback like a Jaden Daniels. RG3, he got hurt. I mean, he had basically one great season, and then he wasn't good. And that's what we have to be careful with our quarterback. So I say these two franchises have been notorious to where quarterbacks go to die, literally. I mean, because just the organization, but we've got a new ownership group. We've got new coaching. We got new upper level management. And so we're seeing a different type of thing. And maybe that's what Cleveland really needs in order to get their quarterback, because, you guys, it's been crazy. And then, of course, you've got the big elephant in the room. You got Deshaun Watson possibly coming back healthy this season. So that's just another thing that's going to keep Shedeur Sanders potentially off the field. It's crazy.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because isn't it like they're not playing him because they don't want
Injury.
to play him because they get insurance money if
Yeah.
they don't play him, something like that.
Yeah, there's some injury stuff going on that. So we'll wrap that up. And so, it pains me. It pains me like heck to say this, but we got our tails kicked last night. The Washington Commanders played the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was 7-7 at halftime. And we didn't score another point, and we gave up 21 points, 14 points in the third quarter, and 7 points in the fourth quarter to Patrick Mahomes. Now, this is a 60-minute game, right? So you gotta play 60 minutes. But we got our tails kicked. And the Commanders now are 3-5. And they're in desperation mode right now. So, I pose this question. Right now, are the Commanders in desperation mode after the loss to the Chiefs? I mean, being in the tough NFC with all of the top teams in the NFC there, and obviously people had high expectations for this team going into this season because of Jaden Daniels and what we were able to do with the veterans and things of that nature. And I'm going to answer the question for you. The Commanders are in desperation mode. I mean, we've got the Seahawks on Sunday night. Then after that, at home, right? And then we've got the Detroit Lions coming in too. We've got a brutal schedule this year, right? I saw Dan kind of like, oh no. And so I really think that the Washington Commanders, they need a healthy Jaden Daniels, right? We saw what Terry McLaurin that came in last night and what he could do. He had a touchdown catch, had an excellent diving catch there. He spreads the offense. He's a deep threat down the field. But now, he had the quad injury, came back, and so he might be injured again with the quad again, right? So I had rather for him to stay on the sidelines again, not come into a game that we were going to potentially lose, rest up another week or so, and get ready for the Seattle game and our second half of the season. But for him to possibly be hurt again on the quad, which he'd already was out 4 games, and to come back for a game that I knew that we probably weren't going to win on a Monday night in Kansas City anyway, is disappointing to see him come back just to potentially be out another, who knows, 2, 3, 4 weeks. But are the Commanders in desperation mode after the loss to Kansas City Chiefs? You damn right they are, and they better get themselves together, right? The fan base is hungry for a little bit more of that playoff stuff that they gave them last year, and we don't want them to be a one-hit wonder. Right. So we'll see what the Commanders do. They're 3-5. I look at it this way. They've got to run the table. They can only really lose 1 or 2 more games, and maybe not to NFC opponents because it's going to be jam-packed to get in the playoffs in the NFC. You want to take that? Want to take that, Tony?
Yeah. I mean, the schedule is brutal. I'm looking at it right now. I just feel like you said, you got to have your star quarterback healthy. Everybody's has these little these nagging injuries like Debo Samuel. I have Debo in my fantasy league, so I'm dealing with he had a heel injury, calf injury, or something like that. So just staying healthy and then consistency at the running back. I feel like Bill. I added Bill to my fantasy team because you talk highly of him, and then I get him. I get him and he doesn't do anything. So it's like
that it always happens.
That's how it works. But I could tell he is a good player. It's just you got the 3-headed monster there. You got too many running backs getting the ball. Is it Rodriguez? And So it's like if we can hone in on one, but I'm sure they're trying to distribute.
Well, we've had some mix-ups at an offensive line too. We brought Cosme back, after his injury. And I think it threw off a whole bunch of different things. I mean, look, you can't change what was working for you when the running game was the number 1 running attack in the NFL like 3 weeks ago. And then all of a sudden you bring Cosme back. He messes up the continuity of the offense. And then, of course, you want to get him back in because he was the starter before injury. But you got to work him back in slowly, and you messed up the continuity of the running game when you brought him back and kicked Chris Paul and all these other guys out of the lineup. But that I digress on that one. But at the end of the day, yes, the Washington Commanders are desperate and they need to win.
Let's hear what Dan has to say about it, since he's the neutral.
Yeah, you're the resident. You're the guest here. You know, do you think the Commanders are in desperation mode after the loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, Dan?
I'll tell you, Kansas City's a tough one. You know, I was listening to the game, and it was 7. You know, like you said, it was 7-7 at halftime. I'm like, hey, they got a shot to do this. They can do this. And Mahomes comes out second half, boom, 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 boom. You know, Mahomes, right? So I think they will have to come pretty close to running the table to sniff the playoffs. You know, it's unfortunate, you know, because I do like the Commanders, you know, but I'm going to tell you, I think they are going to have to run that table. They really will. And the schedule's not going to be easy. I don't see them, you know, beating Detroit. I don't see that happening with the offensive firepower that Detroit has, you know, and their defense isn't too shabby either. You know,
Well, it's a home game for us. So, I mean, you know, you get the dome teams. We always say this. You get the dome teams out of the dome. You always have a chance with the dome teams that have to travel. So I think that is the only saving grace for us to possibly win that game. And, you know, they're going to be riled up because we knocked them out the playoffs last year.
You got an informant though. Your DB is gonna give him, gonna point shade for him, gonna give him some, gonna hold somebody, and
Yeah, I know, right?
So it's Buckeye guys. So
yeah, I mean, but you know, Lattimore did have an interception last night, so he played a lot better. He had an interception, and you know why he had an interception? Because he turned his damn head, right? If you're a cornerback, you got to have eyes on the ball. He got one. He must have been listening to our podcast. I don't know what he was doing, but he got the right technique on that one. And so I'm excited the fact that, you know, he did, you know, it's showing that, you know, he did get some a little bit of life. But hey, we're up against a break, so we'll be back in about 60 seconds. But before this, you know, we're gonna let Tony talk a little bit about what he does. Oh, he's good with this. So hey, we'll take a quick break.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Chasing the Highlights podcast. My name is Lonnie Washington. I'm in Arizona, and my co-host Tony, he is in Texas. And then we have our special guest Dan. He's in Massachusetts. He was talking a little bit about the Patriots and everything there, and gave us a good insight on about the Patriots and what the fans are thinking in New England. You know, right now we're going to kind of transition to you know, the upcoming week of games that's coming up in week number 9 we are in now. And so it's you know, week 9 is kind of like our transition point in the NFL to where we're trying to figure out, okay, who's going to actually win this thing, who's actually going to take it, you know, where all these teams are. We've had a good sampling of where all these teams are week 9. And so, you know, there's a game coming up this week that is, you know, that's really a big football game. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to Buffalo. All right. And obviously, you know, this is always kind of a revenge game for the Buffalo Bills, because they always get beat in the playoffs by the Kansas City Chiefs. But the Buffalo Bills somehow always come through during the regular season to beat the Chiefs. So that being said, Looking at this particular game and looking the way Kansas City looked, and obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs, won like 40-9, this weekend too. Excuse me, the Buffalo Bills won like 40-9 this weekend too. They played a really good football game. So, our sticking in the AFC East, Dan, when you look at this game with Kansas City traveling to Buffalo, do you think that Buffalo has a chance to beat Kansas City the way that with Rashid Rice coming back and the full complement of the weapons now that Patrick Mahomes has at his disposal? Do you think that Kansas City Chiefs can go into Buffalo and beat the Buffalo Bills right now?
I do, but don't make any mistakes. That's all I'm going to say. Don't make a single mistake. You have to play flawless football, just about flawless in Buffalo to win.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, Buffalo does not like to lose at home.
No.
So, those fans. So I've been there, been in that venue, and it's.
Oh, you've been to Buffalo before?
I have.
Oh, wow.
Matter of fact, it was the year the Patriots went 18-0.
Oh, wow.
Beat them handily, like I think it was 56-10.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was, but it was a crazy game, and I will tell you, it was those fans. They're rabid. They're something else. I know that the fans are going to be out, so Kansas City can win this game, but they've got to play flawless. They've got to run on all four cylinders. They cannot make any. So, but they can win, and I think you're going to see Kansas City pulling off some games just like this. They are going to make a run. They're too good not to.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, I got Kansas City pulling this out because Buffalo gives up a lot of running. They're not really good in the run game, so they do good in the pass game. So I think they can slow the pass game down a little bit. But I feel like if they get the run game going and Mahomes gets some runs in, because he has been scrambling and he's a lot better at the run now. So I feel like if they can't stop Mahomes running the ball, I think the passing game will open up.
Yeah.
And then the other guys, the running game for the Chiefs hasn't been consistent, but I feel like in this game they can get something going and stuff like that. So I feel like I got the Chiefs for this one.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna take Buffalo. I think it's a short week for Kansas City. And they're traveling to Buffalo. I think Buffalo gets up in this game. They got to stay, they got to stay on track with the Patriots too. The Patriots have an easier road than the Buffalo Bills. So Buffalo already had their bye, right? They came off a bye week. They had a great week, and got the win. And so I think Buffalo now is kind of like on that urgency. They're saying, wow, we got to keep track with the New England Patriots, and we can't lose too many of these games because the Patriots have an easier schedule than us. So I'm definitely picking the Buffalo Bills at home.
That Mahomes guy.
He's lighting them up now. He's lighting them up now. Also a big game that I think too. Atlanta is traveling to New England, so Atlanta's traveling to New England. You have Atlanta just got their head beat in at home against the Miami Dolphins, and it's mind-boggling, right? Because the Atlanta Falcons got so much talent, and they beat Buffalo already at home. They had a 37-0 loss too when they traveled to Carolina this year, the Atlanta Falcons, and so it's kind of hard to figure out what the hell is going on in Atlanta. You guys get your head beat in by teams, but then you beat up on some good teams, and now you got to go outside of a dome, right? And you got to go to a hot New England Patriots team. It's going to be a little chilly there too, so bring your sweaters. Right, not quite coats yet, but bring your sweaters. It's late October, early November. Yeah, it's going to be nippy. So, Dan, how do you see this game running?
I got to tell you, I see the Patriots running away with this one. I do.
Oh, running away, not just winning, running away.
Going to run away with this one. They're playing at home. They haven't been the past few games, the past few seasons. Haven't seen a lot of wins at home. I think they're going to go ahead and reward the fans for being loyal, get them a big win. But I think Atlanta, they have some weapons. They do. They're going to need to, once again, you've got to play mistake-free football. Atlanta's going to have to do that going into New England. But New England's going to be ready for them. New England's going to be ready. I think New England's they're going to run away with this. They really will. So, and I hate to say that I'm basing it on the Miami game, the Miami experience, but how do you let the Dolphins beat you up that bad?
At home in the dome.
You okay? I don't get. I just still, it's the Dolphins. I mean, they went from one of the better teams in the league, and now they're in the cellar.
Yeah,
a lot of dysfunction going on there. But I see the Patriots running away with this. So yeah, that's what I got.
Yep.
So what I got for that Atlanta game is losing to Miami. I feel like it's Kirk Cousins. So some news just came out. I don't know if it's true or not. Kirk Cousins might be going back to Minnesota. So I don't know. They might be trading for me because I don't think they trust McCarthy. Yeah. So I saw something earlier. I don't know if it's true or not, but they said he might be. I don't know if his agent on the backside was brokering a deal to go back to Minnesota because they need quarterback play. Because he played like trash. I don't know.
I mean, he started that game.
Well, he started. He came in, but he didn't do what he's supposed to do. I thought he was going to go in there and whoop Miami, because their defense is not that great. And he just laid an egg pretty much. I mean,
he's like, you guys screwed me with this rookie and fenced me, and now you guys want me to come in and save the day. Screw that. Yeah. Right. Get me the hell out of here. Get me out of here. I'm going to play bad.
And then this morning, I see this news from Minnesota. I'm like, did he just throw this game just to, like a big, whatever to the organization in Atlanta for benching him and stuff like that. So I feel like, I don't know, Penix has to be healthy to win this game. I don't see them getting even close. Like Dan said, they're going to run away with this game.
Wow. That's a heck of a take. So yeah. So you know what? The Patriots shouldn't win this game if they take care of business. They'll win this game and stay on top of the AFC East. So moving on. The Indianapolis Colts, the hot 7-1 Indianapolis Colts. Go ahead.
Can you just say that again? Top of who's on AFC East?
The New England Patriots are on top of the AFC East.
Been so long that. That's it.
Yeah, it's been. He's like, oh man, just say it over and over again, man. I'll put it on the reel and just send it over to you next time. But yeah, you should be excited. I get it. You're excited. They have a favorable schedule. They have a quarterback. They have a good coach that's with the team. They play hard. Mike Vrabel plays make him play very, very hard on defense. I get it, man. I understand it. But we got to transition over to the Colts game. The Colts at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game features two teams heading in the opposite direction. I mean, the Colts are 6-1? No, they're 7-1, right? And have a balanced offensive attack led by running back Jonathan Taylor. The Steelers is coming off a loss and have struggled defensively in recent weeks, giving up over 30 points in the last two games. I mean, and this AFC North division is totally up for grabs right now. It's totally up for grabs. And I expect the Colts to go in and work over the Pittsburgh Steelers, to be honest with you. I expect the Colts to travel. But again, they're a dome team. We keep saying this, right? And they got to go to Pittsburgh to play Pittsburgh. But with Lamar Jackson coming back and the Ravens getting the surprise win last week over the Chicago Bears, and with Lamar Jackson coming back, you got to be careful because I think now the Ravens still have to play the Steelers twice. So, okay, so our resident AFC North guy, Tony, what do you see in this game, and how do you think that, a Colts win really impacts the AFC North?
Do you know who Carly Ursay is?
Yeah, she's on the sidelines with a headset on. I mean, she's
Carly Ursay is their lucky charm. She sits on the sideline and she's whatever she's doing, she's very in tune with the team, and she's like making sure everybody's on the up and up. Has them guys play like these guys are like playing their butts off for this lady. Like, and I think that it's a good relationship they have with her. It's not like a, she's annoying. Why is she on the sideline? They actually like to be around her and stuff like that because she's trying to learn the game and stuff like that. But I say that to say this. I feel like they can play anywhere. They played on the road a couple games. I think they played one game outside and they won that game. So
well, they went and beat up on the Chargers in a dome, right?
It was a dome.
It's about cold weather, right? The weather now is starting to shift a little bit.
But I feel like the Steelers, I don't know. I feel like they have some pieces coming. The Colts have some pieces coming back on the defensive side, and I feel like they can travel well with the running back, Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, so Jonathan Taylor is going to be the one to just put it to them, and I feel like the tight end, the rookie tight end, is going to do well as well. So. Because they gave up a lot of points to the last week's tight end in Pittsburgh. That's how they lost from Green Bay. What's his name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He went off, and I feel like it's going to happen again this week.
140 was it 120, 140 yards receiving last week? It was crazy.
So that's going to happen again this week.
Yeah, Dan, what do you think?
I'll tell you, the Colts are going to run away with this one. Yeah, that's it. They're gonna put it on the back of Jonathan Taylor, and he's gonna take him to the promised land. That's how that's gonna work.
Can Daniel Jones keep up with what he's been doing? I mean, we've seen Daniel Jones with the Giants. I mean, different team and everything. I mean, he went to the quarterback whisperer O'Connell over in Minnesota for a season. But can he keep this up? I think everybody's waiting to see the old Daniel Jones show up at some point, and it hasn't happened in the last 8 games. So do you think that old Daniel Jones is going to show back up, or he's going to keep playing steady like he's been playing for the last 8 weeks?
I think he's going to play steady. I will tell you his quarterback rating this season is better than his competitor, Aaron Rodgers. So he and Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers is right around 101 and Daniel Jones is at 109. So Daniel Jones is throwing for more yards. He has a better touchdown interception ratio. So I think Daniel Jones, I think he's proving it to everybody. His completion percentage is better. He's at over 70% completions. So I think Daniel Jones, he is a good quarterback. I think he just got a bad, he was put with a bad team in New York.
Yeah.
I think this is what you're going to see forward. I mean, so.
We talked about that before, Lonnie. Like when guys play well in college and they get drafted to these bad teams, they kind of have to deal with this. Like the media think that the quarterback is bad because they're on a bad team. It's not usually the quarterback, because once they actually leave and go somewhere else, then they play better. I feel like the Colts had the team that they had a squad. They just needed a quarterback that was consistent, and he went to the best spot that he can go to, because the quarterback they had before,
Richardson. And to your point, the Patriots had a quarterback named Mac Jones, who's doing in San Francisco,
and they were bad. The Patriots were bad back then too. Belichick's on the downswing of his career, and he was bad.
That's right. So he's not doing too bad now, and he's a serviceable quarterback.
Right.
Montana, he's not anything, Hall of Fame worthy, but he's a serviceable quarterback. Mm-hmm. And I think England did him that injustice by going through, 400 offensive coordinators over the course of 3 years. That was just terrible. So, but to your point, it was a bad team, and they expect, they expect these young quarterbacks to come in and be the savior of these bad teams where they've got nothing around them.
Yeah, the Browns have been bad for so long. I mean, we don't even want to talk about them. I mean, that's a whole nother show again.
What I'm a Patriots fan through and through, but I would love to see Shedeur Sanders go to in Cleveland ball out. I'd love to see that. Yeah. I'd love to see that. So
I mean, I would like to see it too. It's just, I gotta talk about the Dallas Cowboys real quick. I mean, Dallas Cowboys, they beat the Commanders. They go in and they play the Denver Broncos last week, and they just get pounded. I mean, I'm talking about they got pounded by the Denver Broncos, and Denver Broncos, man. I mean, we've seen them beat Philly, we've seen them beat the Cowboys, we've seen them beat the Giants, and now you're sitting back and you're saying, "Wow, Dallas Cowboys, they might have a week off this week because they play the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, they just might. I mean, they just might have a week off, obviously, because they play the Arizona Cardinals. I just think that, man, after the Cowboys go back home, do you think that the Dallas Cowboys get back on their horse this week against the Arizona Cardinals? Now, the Arizona Cardinals has played very hard football, tough football too, right? And we don't know if Kyler Murray is going to be back. If Kyler Murray is back, that could change everything too. But Arizona traveling to Dallas on Monday night, after Dallas takes a spanking, and that defense is horrendous, okay? Make no mistake about it, Dallas's defense is horrendous. Yeah. Tony, do you think that the Arizona Cardinals got a chance to go into Dallas and beat the Cowboys? I don't even know what the line is. That's your category there. But what do you think?
I don't trust Kyler Murray, or if he comes back, or whoever the quarterback is going into Dallas, because I don't know. Kyler Murray hasn't really got the ball to my Ohio State Buckeye receiver. He doesn't get the ball to, I don't know. I can't trust his Arizona Cardinals team.
Cardinals coming off a bye too, right? Isn't the Cardinals coming off a bye week?
Well, I don't with the Cardinals, I don't care about the bye, because I feel like the Cowboys is too powerful on the offensive side. If they can't stop him, if they can't stop the offense of the Dallas Cowboys, I feel like they don't have a shot.
I'm picking the Cardinals, just so you know. Okay, really? I don't care. I'm picking the Cardinals in this game. If Kyler Murray plays, they're coming off a bye week. I've lived 50. I keep saying this. I live 15 minutes from the Cardinal Stadium. Okay, and I think that the Cardinals are better than their record. Right. I think if Kyler Murray comes back, and that defense plays hard too. That Cardinals defense plays hard, and I think the Cardinals are going to give the Cowboys everything that they can handle in this game. So I'm going with the upset, and I don't really think it's going to be an upset. I just think that the Cardinals are going to beat the Cowboys. Right? Cowboys are up and down, inconsistent. I mean, they can score 35 points but give up 40. So you never know what Cowboy team you're going to get on defense, and I think that's the reason why I'm probably going and say, hey, coming off of a bye week, Kyler Murray could be healthy. They're going to get that offense back cooking again. In the Cardinals defense, they do play pretty decent defense when they can. So then,
but they have to be able to run the ball though, and I don't feel like they have consistency at the running game. And if Kyler Murray can come back and give you 100 yards rushing, I could see that. But you don't have the Cardinals have a running game right now. All the guys are injured or dropping the ball before they get in the end zone and getting beat up by the coach.
Bye week, they hit the reset button. Teams go in the bye week, they hit the reset button. They get healthier. They reorganize themselves. They look inward. All right. And Gannon, I think this is Gannon, the coach. I think he's on the hot seat right now. He needs a signature win. I think he gets it in Dallas, even though Dallas plays well at home. They both are dome teams. That's a toss up. But I think that they're going to put some points on the board. The Cardinals are going to score. So, Dan, I don't know what you think about this game, but go for it.
I'll tell you, last game against Denver, Prescott threw 2 picks. Dallas fumbled away a ball. I'm just curious, if you're Dallas, how do you trade away your best defensive player? Mm-hmm. How do you do that? How do you trade away Parsons? I don't get that. Your defense you got holes all over it. But I'm going to tell you, I think I would love to see Joe Milton come in and throw the ball around. I love that guy. I think he's amazing.
He threw a pass last week. Was crazy.
He's got a great arm. He's got a very strong, albeit not that accurate, but he's got a good, strong arm. But all that being said, I think Dallas will come away with this one because it's at home and it's not going to be a large margin by any means. So, I'm not going to give you a score, but I think you're going to see a win, maybe a 3-point win. Yeah. That's what. So it's not going to be anything
34-31.
Yeah, it's not going to be anything crazy.
It could be 30. It could be 34. It could be. And I gotta talk about Baltimore going to Miami with Lamar Jackson. Miami kind of got a little bit of mojo going now because of their win last week in Atlanta. Thursday night, couple of days from now, and Lamar Jackson back. Do you think this now is going to be the run that everybody's been waiting for with Lamar Jackson coming back and winning the North? You know, they got Miami, so they Miami's. I don't know how much resistance Miami's going to put up, but I'm thinking that Baltimore now is going to make their run. They're going to make their run for the division. What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, I think so because we saw it in this last game. Roshan Smith came back on the defensive side, so they're solidifying their defense back again. Everything is getting back to normal. If they have Lamar Jackson come back, that's everybody back, and I feel like they should run away with this game. If they don't run away with this game, they have problems. They're not going to make it anywhere. If they can't beat the Miami Dolphins, the Browns beat the Miami Dolphins handedly. Because of the defense and Quinshon Judkins only, not Dylan Gabriel. But if you got Lamar Jackson coming back, I mean, he's going to have to just pass the ball and not try to run so much because I don't want him to tweak his injury again because of how he runs, quick twitch movements I said this on the last podcast, the quick twitch movements, I feel like he wants to take it easy, but they should win this handily.
Yeah, I mean, Huntley came in. He was just running over people. I mean, I saw him scrambling, and he just didn't go down. And he's a tall guy. He put his head down, and he was running. They played with a little bit of urgency, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's almost time for them to make their run. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, Baltimore they're gonna win this game handily over Miami. If you're a Miami,
I know you have no love lost for the Dolphins, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not at all. If you're a Miami fan, your season, you're done. You're done this year. You have no will. The will's just been sapped out of you. That's it.
I mean, they're not quitting though. They just beat the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, that was the major upset. So I'm not quite sure if they're done, but they're fighting a little bit, right?
Oh well, I guess, but that's like the Tennessee Titans beating the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, all right. No,
oh, man.
Listen, a win is a win. A win is a win, right? But I can tell you, I definitely, there's no way that they're going to lose this game. Baltimore will not lose this game. They're going to go in there and they're going to lay the pipe to Miami. They're going to just take them out. It's a done deal. This is one of those games. If you're a Miami fan, you're looking at the schedule, and you got season tickets, you're like, nah, I'm going to stay home this weekend. that's out it. So.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. So last game of the night, guys. I mean, we have Seattle going to Washington on a Sunday night. You have a Seattle team that's got one of the top defenses in the NFL. They've got one of the top duels in the NFL with Smith and Jigma and Darnold, right? They're going into DC with a week rest, right? And they play tough defense. We don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to be back this week. Potentially he'll be back this week. Listening to the Dan Quinn's presser today. We don't know about Terry, right? But Jaden Daniels is going to make a difference in this game. The place is going to be crazy. They're wearing their throwback Super Bowl uniforms from 40 years ago, for goodness sakes. Hopefully they look good on TV. But I'm picking that my team is going to pick themselves up from this loss with the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're going to play better on defense. They're going to put 4 quarters together, and I think they're going to shock the Seattle Seahawks. Now, that's what I think. I think that we're going to finally shock somebody like we're supposed to, and we're going to get a big win, and then it's going to propel us for the rest of the season. That's my prediction, Tony. Dan, go ahead and take this. Then I'll go to you first.
All right. I can tell you if Jaden Daniels if he comes back this week, I can see them pulling this off. I can definitely see them pulling.
Okay, all right.
You know what? I can see that. Even though, Sam Darnold with his 109 passer rating, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, Kenneth Walker, 4.5 yards a carry, and, so on and so forth. I really, and their defense, you're right. Their defense is just plain nasty.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can see them pulling it off. If Jaden Daniels comes back, And he has
The line is only 2.5 points, which is surprising. The line is only 2.5 points, right? Is it 3?
It's 3 now.
Oh, okay. I had it 2.5 on ESPN, but that's a pick'em game to me when it's 2.5. As good as their defense is, everything, that game should be 6 points, 5.5, 6 points, right? But it's only a 2.5 point, margin. So we'll see what happens in that game. I mean, Tony, what do you think?
Just so you know, they only lost one game. Well, they won every game on the road this year.
Yep. They're the best. They're the best road team in the league.
So with that being said, I feel like y'all better bring y'all lunch pail because it's gonna be a knockout, drag out brawl in with the Commanders. I feel like Seattle's gonna win this game because their defense travels well. And like you said, I mean, as long as they got their running game going on the offensive side, I feel like the passing game will open up for them. So if y'all can't stop the running game or the pass, I feel like it's going to be a 20-point loss for y'all at home. I'm calling it. I'll eat crow next week.
20-point loss, a 20-point loss. Oh man, he's killing me. I doubt it, but you know what? It is what it is. Now I'm going to clip this off, right? So when we come back with the win next week, I got receipts. And Dan, you heard it. You were here, so I got receipts for next week. So guys, we gotta go here. Hey Dan, thank you for coming in, and hopefully have you back at some point this year to talk a little bit more about football and the New England Patriots and Drake May and everything. Hey, good luck to your team this year. Hey, for Lonnie Washington, Tony Robinson, and Dan Briot in Massachusetts. Good night, everybody.
Come alive, 2X players in the studio, ready to thrive. Friends and fans, uniting with the truth, sharing the passion, yeah, that's our proof. Chasing the highlights, where dreams come alive. 2X players in the studio, ready to thrive. Friends and fans, united with the truth, sharing the passion, yeah, that's our proof. We treasure the legends, those who paved our way. In every single chapter, we're here to stay, breaking down plays.